The Hughes brothers betrayed Tupac's loyalty after he gave them an opportunity of a lifetime. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Oh, let's get into some of this straight game.
Life is like cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. Play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy DELRAY, Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. I thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, notification. Also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And like I always say, if you would like to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of this straight game, please do me a favor and hit the what appears to be the little bell notification right below this video. I'm going to get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is clear to me that Alan Hughes, who directed the Dear Mama docuseries, it's clear to me that the reason that Tupac was mad at Alan Hughes and the Hughes brothers is because they betrayed Tupac. A lot of people have overlooked this fact. And Alan Hughes has, when he has talked about the story, he basically told the story from his own perspective. But if you look into the facts and understand the history between Tupac and Alan Hughes, then you will understand why Tupac was so upset. And the number one reason is the reason why Alan Hughes and the Hughes brothers were able to get the kind of work that they got, right? Especially dealing with Tupac, is because they were black. If you notice, Tupac's Trapped, right? And Brenda's Got a Baby, which I would say was Tupac's first major hit, if you will, right? They did both of those videos. You have to look at it from an artist's perspective, because there is no director for a video. There is no treatment nor concept being written for a video if you do not have the song first. And I'm sure, I'm almost positive that Tupac, when he met the Hughes brothers, he said to himself, these are some young brothers. They're doing their thing. It'll be wonderful to work for them or with them, if you will. And the relationship began from there, right? Trapped. Brenda's Got a Baby, right? So now, Tupac is thinking to himself, you know, we now have a working relationship. That's perfectly cool. Everything's good. It's love. They are brothers. I'm a brother, and it's all good. Everybody's, you know, working together. As you've seen what Tupac did for the brother who was being mistreated in Atlanta in the situation in which he had to do the shooting, right? Same characteristics, same reaction as far as Tupac once again trying to help a brother out, and Tupac agreeing to let the Hughes brothers, or to work with the Hughes brothers in reference to letting them direct his songs, right? So now, here it comes time for the Hughes brothers. They have this movie they're about to direct, Minister Society, right? So basically, New Line Cinema says, well, you need, you know, a popular rapper, you know, a platinum rapper, as they said, attached to the film for us to greenlight the film. Who do they turn to? They turn to Tupac. Why do they turn to Tupac? Because of their relationship with Tupac, right? So Tupac then says, okay, I don't mind. I won't star in it. Give me a supporting role, right? And so, in Tupac finding out the role that he would get in Minister Society was the guy that played the Muslim brother, the young brother, right? And so, in finding that out, Tupac read the script and said, you know what? He didn't think that the character that he was going to play was real enough, or that the story behind the character wasn't detailed enough to be able to show the transition from where the character came from, the trouble he was in, and kind of like, if you would deal with like, the Nation of Islam or whatever. If he was, he was in trouble at one time, he cleaned up his life, then he became Muslim. Tupac wanted to show the full journey, or at least a piece of the journey, and where that character came from his trouble side and became righteous, or became an upstanding member of society, whichever one you choose to use, right? So Tupac, thinking that they got a relationship, or him and the Hughes brothers got a relationship, he basically saying, I'm not going to play that role because the character is basically not real enough, for me. It's not, it doesn't give the full depth of the character. And he wanted the Hughes brothers basically to, kind of rewrite the role, fixing and adjusting those parts. They basically told Tupac no. So now, Tupac, once again, being the loyal guy he was, Tupac feeling like, well, damn, I let y'all, direct my first 2 videos and, and so on and so forth when y'all was struggling, trying to come up and all of that. And now all of a sudden, you need me for this role to sign on to get the film actually greenlit by New Line Cinema, right? Because New Line was not going to give them the green light to go and start shooting the film unless they had a platinum rapper to star in it. And Tupac was that guy. So basically, if it wasn't for Tupac, at that particular time, for all intents and purposes and what we know, that role, or should I say that film, would have never got greenlit. So now the film is greenlit. Tupac has his role. They have him, involved with Minister Society and the whole 9 yards, And mind you, Tupac had done his thing. He's doing his thing, so he's well known. So the film, once again, based on Juice, would be well received, right? So they say, no, Tupac, we're not going to rewrite your role. You either do this or you fired. So basically, Tupac started acting up. I guess that's the only way he knew how to deal with that, is to be disruptive, or should I say uncooperative, if you will, in dealing with that situation. But more than anything, you got to look a little bit deeper into it, because you got to say, well, damn, if you was Tupac and you thought that you had a relationship with somebody like that, you put money in their pocket, they getting other jobs based on the jobs that they did with you. Now they got a reel of work that they can show that they did. Brenda's got a baby trapped and so on, right? And now all you wanted them to do was kind of tweak the role that they had for you, right? And they couldn't do it. That was the reason why Tupac was hurt. That's the reason why Tupac was mad. Because he thought that they were brothers that he could count on. And he found out once it came to the point where they might lose an opportunity, they quickly disposed of Tupac. That was the reason why Tupac lashed out on Dr. Dre and Ed Lover. That's the reason why Tupac lashed out on the video when he's sitting next to Richie Rich on the couch when he was rolling the blunt. And another thing, in the Dear Mama docuseries, the part where Alan Hughes actually asked Tupac's aunt Gloria, he asked her, he said, there's been people that saying that Tupac was 2 people, like he was, he was acting whatever, and so on and so forth. And his Tupac's aunt Gloria quickly shut that down and said, no, Tupac was just Tupac. He was who he was. He was his struggle and he was his success, basically, right? But then you have Allen Hughes basically saying that Tupac changed after he saw himself in Juice and started getting more tattoos. So that was an analogy. That was a perception that Allen Hughes basically had held, in which he was asking Tupac's Aunt Gloria to basically comment on what he was saying that other people thought when it was something that he actually thought himself. Getting tattoos and being in the movie had nothing to do with Tupac being in the movie and him getting tattoos. Now, first and foremost, you have a little bit more money. You know, before he probably couldn't afford tattoos. He wasn't getting money like that. So now you're getting a little bit more money. You can get some tattoos and things like that. I don't think it had anything to do with Tupac being in Juice and all of a sudden now Juice, you know, the role in Juice has him thinking something else and let me go get some tattoos. No. That's one person's perception of what they think about an individual, and understandably so. But like I said, once again, you got to understand. Tupac felt betrayed by the Hughes brothers based on the fact that he thought that they had a relationship or that they had some kind of bond, some kind of friendship based on their past working history. And when they fired Tupac, Tupac was deeply hurt because, once again, his loyalty to them when they were trying to come up had been betrayed based on him asking them to do one thing, and that was just tweak the role. And therefore, Tupac felt as though, you know what, if I'm going out, I might as well go out with a bang from that perspective. So, you know, when you look at that and now we see that you know, Allen Hughes and Hughes brothers, basically Allen Hughes, should I say, was chosen to basically direct the docuseries. And I don't have no problem with that. I think he's actually doing a good job of it. You know, I don't think that he cut the part off where when Tupac was sitting on the couch with Richie Rich talking about what actually happened, right? He cut that part off. And basically at the end of that, you hear him say he should have listened to Tupac because Tupac was actually right. When you deal with the bigger picture, Tupac was actually right about what he was asking the Hughes brothers to do. And now that they look back on it, they see that it wasn't that big of a thing. You understand what I'm saying? So when you understand that and you understand the totality of it, right? Tupac was right. The Hughes brothers, they weren't their brother's keeper, if you will. You know, they chose the opportunity over the friendship, which would have created more opportunity because, as you can see, Tupac became bigger than anything that they probably ever could have been, so much so that they're now directing a docuseries about his life and his mother's life, and his mother and him are no longer here. That's what you call a true legacy. So once again, the Hughes brothers, and should I say more than anything, Allen Hughes, yeah, I think he gets it now. But ultimately, the reason why Tupac was mad was because they betrayed him. They betrayed his trust. They betrayed his loyalty all over a film that would have never gotten greenlighted if Tupac didn't agree to star in it from the giddy up. So Lorenz Tate and everybody else that was actually in the Minister Society, the movie may have never happened if Tupac hadn't initially signed on to be in the movie. Think about that. Your boy DELRAY, straight gang.